Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Patrick Lee. It's time for Midweek Motivation Live. I hope everyone's doing well today. Maybe you can see behind me. What can we see out there? Nothing. We are in a blizzard. The great Amarillo blizzard number 2 of 2021. This is hilarious. Yesterday it was 78 degrees outside. I can take this off. I don't need this anymore. 78 degrees outside and sunny and dry. Today it's blizzard. You can't see my building. My building is 30 stories tall, 31 stories tall, and you can't see my building from a block away. Texas weather, gotta love it, right? So it made it a little harder to get here, and plenty of mishaps on the way to the show this morning. But nevertheless, here we are drinking coffee in my Patrick Lee Group coffee cup. That was a great gift from Marlene Tafoya on my team. Love that. Hope everyone's doing well today. People are already tuning in. We want to talk about the difference today between being informative and transformative, and possibly even moving into something else. A lot of people are information givers, a information collector, and then a sharer. And that's one of the things that I had been in my life for many, many years. One of the things I want to talk to you about, I watch a lot of people. I read a lot of people. I'm always trying to stay up on growing myself. As I tell you every week, you're never going to go higher than the level of your own personal development in life. So I'm continuously involved in that, and it's worked well for me, and I hope it works well for you. Good morning, Sal. People tuning in already. I know that this weather's affected a lot of people down through the country, and we may have fewer viewers today. That's okay. It's not snowing everywhere, right? And I would rather be on a beach in the Bahamas, maybe the Caribbean, right now, with my toes in the sand. But I'm in Amarillo, Texas, in the middle of a blizzard. So hopefully this is a good show for you today. Talking about moving from being informative to transformative. Working on some of my commenting and some of my banners here this morning. What do you mean moving from informative to transformative and just maybe restorative? In my life, I have been a people pleaser, what's called a people pleaser, for many, many years growing up. I didn't want anyone to ever be offended with me. I was a fairly sensitive child. I was a lover, not a fighter. Learned to be much more aggressive in high school with the help of some friends. Became a wrestler, and which some of them were a fairly rougher crowd, but got involved in sports and girls and all of the things that come along with high school. But during those years, my formative years, and then also in the years after that, as I grew up in business, I got into management at a very young age. I've shared some of that in the past. Worked at a convenience store type filling station, pumping gas, and became the assistant manager, and then was always promoted into management positions at nearly every job I've ever had since then. One of the things that I believe was instrumental in that happening was I was a collector of information, and I could regurgitate that information pretty quickly, whether it was rules about the company, different types of trends that the company was going into, the things that we were going to follow, the things that a person needed to know to succeed in that particular company. And so those things were always good for me. And then when the manager or the owners came to me, I always had answers for them. I was their information source, right? And then as I moved through those careers into starting my own real estate career, then I started becoming an information source to others as well. And that's one of the things that I took pride in becoming, was an information source to other people. Maybe some of you feel today that that's where you are right now, and you're the answer guy or you're the answer girl, And anytime someone has a question or a need, they call you, they email you, they text you, and looking for answers because they know that you're going to stop whatever you're doing. You're going to go to your Rolodex and you're going to send them a phone number of someone that can help them. Or you're going to stop what you're doing and you're going to jump into a conversation with them and you're going to give them all of the information that you know about that particular topic. The business topic, the trend, the social media, the person that they're thinking about getting involved with, someone they're thinking about doing business with, and they want your opinion or your information on that. So as you go through life becoming this magnet for information, this collector, if you will, of information, you become a people pleaser, and then you become a walking encyclopedia or dictionary or resource for other people to dip into when they have a need. And I took pride in that for many, many years, and it wasn't until I got into real estate and started coaching more, listening to other people and following people that were successful, that I realized that the thing, my business, as I got into real estate and started growing, and then last year starting my own business, previously in business with another great friend on another team, before that at another big box brokerage that was not teaching us how to be successful, but we were spinning our wheels, actually always trying to gather information from others that didn't necessarily want to be forthcoming and share that information. So you had to go out and dig and scratch to find out how to be successful. That wasn't necessarily cost effective and productive for us. So we came to EXP, where I currently am now, EXP Realty. Wonderful company, great brokerage. In my opinion, the best brokerage in the world. Certainly in America, the #1 fastest growing cloud brokerage in America. And now we've moved into nearly a dozen countries around the world. Super happy with that. And one of the things that I learned as I start following these people here is that people are forthcoming with information, but the information you get here, sometimes it seems like you're drinking from a fire hose because there's so much information available. But the information that I'm always looking for is the information that's going to transform me, not just inform me. And maybe that's you today. I need information that's going to allow me to take that information, implement it, and move quantum leaps ahead in life. I don't just want a simple answer for someone to just, if it's just a phone number, that's different. Hey, do you have the number to so-and-so? Hey, that's great. Love that. But if I'm trying to lead and grow a business, if I'm trying to grow in my relationships, my personal life, I need information that's going to transform my life. And we call that in the church world. Of course, y'all know I'm a believer. In the church world, we call that revelation knowledge. I need revelation knowledge, a heavy revy, something that's going to change my life and change my thinking. And when I change my thoughts, right, I change my actions, because our thoughts drive our actions. And once we start changing those actions on a repetitive basis, those actions become our new habits. So instead of just being informative, we go to being transformative. Our life changes. We develop new habits in our life, in our business. So that's one of the things that I really strive to get across to you guys today. We need to move from just being a walking encyclopedia to where we're actually a walking resource, that when someone calls and they have a question, we can give them an answer, but we can give them an answer that's going to be a transformative answer, an answer that's going to change their life and their thinking, and motivate them to take action on what they say. The evidence that someone is a good listener or a good leader, right? The evidence that someone is a good leader is if they have followers. If you don't have anyone following you, you're probably not leading. You're not leading anyone. You're going through life, and that's good. Maybe you're leading yourself. You're self-taught, and that's great. But the evidence of a person being a leader is having followers. Hey, good morning, James. Great to see you on here as well. You and Sal and a few other people that are watching. I appreciate that. People that come in and tune in each week to the show. So if you're not, if you don't have anyone following you, you're probably not leading. And if no one is asking you for questions that you can influence, then it's going to be kind of hard for you to become transformative. Okay, in my life and in my business, the main thing my business was lacking was time freedom and control of my own schedule. I was constantly trying to please others. I'd start doing what we call in the real estate world lead generation. You start making phone calls, and then someone needs to, someone texts you, someone calls you, someone walks into your office. They need to pick your ear. They need to bend your ear. They need information, right? So being the people pleaser that I was, I would always stop what I'm doing. I would turn my chair, and then I would devote my time to them. We've talked about this before. There are three main things in life that are your limited resources you can never get more of. Number one is time, right? Time, money, and energy. Those three things are finite. They're not infinite. So when you start turning around and just spewing information to other people to help them out, you are reducing the amount of time, money, and energy that you have, okay, to put into your own business. And when you're growing a business, those three things are critical that you keep a tight rein on. So the thing my business was lacking was that time freedom and control of my schedule. I always allowed others to control my schedule. So I got to the point now to where I don't answer my phone all of the time. It does depend on who it is. I can tell who it is. I don't answer calls, period, from unknown numbers. I think that they're a waste of time. And if that person really needs to get a hold of me, they can leave me a voicemail. They can email me. They can text me. Find another way to get a hold of me if it's an emergency. Call a mutual friend. I try to be pretty available, but those calls don't get my attention. And there are people that I have poured into their life, and I have mentored, and I've helped lead and given them tons of information that I thought would become transformative. And when it becomes painfully clear that that information I've given to them, they did not take action on that, and it did not transform my life, then I realized that that was me basically throwing seed or planting a harvest in soil that was not fertile and was never going to reap a harvest in that person's life. The thing that gives me great information and pleasure that really trips my trigger is when people listen to me, when they ask me for advice and I give them transformation knowledge, and then they can't turn around and utilize that and make a difference in their life with it. And you can continue to sow and sow and sow and plant seed and give these people great information. But if they fail to act on that, then you start realizing that there's never going to be a crop grown out of that. And you have to turn around and start realizing where you're going to plant that seed. Are you going to be transformative in someone else's life? My goal in life isn't just to be a faucet of information to others, right? Amen, right? James is an implementer. I like James. That's great. A lot of the people that I talk to that I have in my life are great implementers. Their feet don't slow down. They're always moving. That's really the topic I wanted to talk to you about today. Don't just be a source of information, but be a source of transformation. Everything that you can share into someone else's life should be something positive. It may be hard for them to understand, and I understand that. I get that. I have coached with and talked with many people in my business. Jim says a freezing good morning to you too. Yes, sir, it is freezing. But I've talked with a lot of people in my business, and I've taken a lot of notes that I did not implement. But when I have taken notes, I've gone to conferences, and I didn't implement what that person taught me or shared with me that would help propel my business forward, I don't continue to go back to that person and ask them for more information and more information and more information, because I haven't utilized the information that they've already given me. And I don't want to be a time robber of that person. I value their time just like I would like people to value my time. So I don't do that. I don't want to be that kind of person. There are many things in our life that that we have lost, right? Time, money, energy have been given to people. And in my business, I faced a realization that if I didn't change the way I was operating, I would constantly be replying to others with information while still having to hustle my own deals to pay my brokerage. James, some of you other realtors on here say amen. That's a big amen. everyone in business has to pay the piper. We all pay somebody. Maybe we are the captain of our own ship, right? You're the captain of your own destiny, as I am. But someone gets paid no matter what, whether it's is going dark. Here we go. We're back. Yeah, this snow it actually took out the Wi-Fi for a while. I'm glad it came back. But while you are sharing information with other people in the incorrect ways, you are taking time away from the amount of time that you need to do to hustle your own deals, to do your own job, to make your own wages. One of the things in life and in sales that we understand is everything we do in life is selling. No matter what you do for a living, you're selling. You're either selling a service or a product or yourself and your ability to take care of that person, correct? So while we are doing that, we need to understand that those amounts of time, those moments, those minutes, sometimes those coaching calls are very valuable amounts of time. And I would have to continue to give into people, pour into people, answer their questions, answer their phone calls, taking time away from me being able to continue to stuff the pipe on my end so it continues to produce for me on the other end, okay? And that's one of the things that I had to change. So I have made the jump from being an information source to hopefully a source of transformation. And the things in my life that have been lacking, that have been missing during this change have all started to become restored back to me. That's what I wanted to say back with the main topic here. Moving from informative to transformative and just maybe restorative. People used to talk about the old backmasking on a record. If you played a record backwards, what would it say? And on country records, they used to say if you played it backwards, you'd get your dog back, your truck back, and your second and third ex-wives back. Just a funny joke. But when you become a transformative person, you help people get things back in life that you have lost. You start getting your time back. You start getting your energy back. You start getting more of your resources back, your money back, because you understand that as you are transforming people with the amount of knowledge you give them, they can then implement that in their life, move on and grow and influence others and get people that they can lead in their life. The best way to learn something is to teach it. The best reward from that is when that person can in turn turn around and teach it to someone else. And that's really what I wanted to get across to you today. Don't just be a source of information, but be a source of transformation and restoration to others. Hey man, this has been Patrick Lee with Midweek Motivation Live. I appreciate you guys coming back every week. As always, you know I do this as a service to you, and I would love it if you could help me out as well. I am in the business of helping people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. If this video has helped you today, you can click on my digital business card in the comments below this video. Digital business card created by Nick Krim and Michael K at Content Cardz. Content Cardz with a Z.com. Click on the link, get a hold of me, get an appointment in my calendar. I'd love to talk to you about buying or selling a home, or maybe just coaching you and helping you in your life. You guys, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.